Hey, it's Kevin from Q101. That's right, jumping in here for the master of delicious conversations, James Van Osdol. Don't worry, he'll be back. This is a bing Q101 podcast, Car Con Carne. It is sponsored by Easy Automation. Yes, Easy Automation. They are the people that will transform your home, your office, your business into a smart, seamlessly connected space. Easy Automation delivers custom automation solutions that are tailored to your lifestyle. That's right. They're experts in designing and installing personalized systems from smart lighting, climate control, audio-visual distribution, Wi-Fi networks. They got it all, and they manage it through an easy app on your desired device. That's right. Easy Automation makes technology work for you. That's right. Effortlessly, reliably, and always to your satisfaction, guaranteed. You can find out more at easy-automation.net. That's easy-automation.net, or call Dan. That's right. Use your phone to call someone. Dan at 630-730-3728. That's 630-730-3728. And take control of your environment today. Car Con Carne is also sponsored by Exploding House Printing. Brands, listeners, creatives like you and me, you need the merch. You need it with that screen printing, the embroidery, all the merch needs. Exploding House. Yes, they are truly local, based in Hermosa, and they're focused on small businesses and creatives, so good chance that's me and you right now. Yeah, they've worked with Logan Arcade, Gino's East, Shure, Microphones, Dante's Pizzeria. I'm getting hungry reading this. Yes, Exploding House has been doing screen printing for decades, which means they have the technical expertise, yes, to make your stuff great. Exploding House delivers production, efficiency, and cost awareness to offer boutique print shop quality at a much lower, large print shop price. Yeah. Check out more. Find their work at Exploding House on Instagram or their website. Just email info@explodinghouseprinting.com. That's info@explodinghouseprinting.com.
It's Car Con Carne. Let's eat in the car. It's Car Con Carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Osdol.
Is it Kev Con Carne or Car Con Carne? Let's go with Car Con Carne. Still filling in for the great JVO. I'm Kev Kellam, a Q101 podcast. Yes, I'm here with Mr. Adam Burke. His new comedy special, Un-American, comes out. By the time you hear this, it will be out. And where can they get it, Adam?
You can get it on Amazon and Apple. It's going to be available for rent or purchase on the 25th of November, and all the other streaming sites where you might get this. But yeah, mainly Apple and Amazon. You can get it. Thanks for having me. By the way, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. You've heard me before. You and I have done some gigs doing the comedy around town. I think I first met you probably like 10, 15 years ago. It was Cole's open mic. You were hosting the open mic. And I remember you gave me what I thought was like a correction on me performing, but I was told no. You emphatically told me that, no, this is good, but you got to be aware of it. You told me I was louder than the sound system. That I was. This is Cole's, where the bar is kind of like open in the front, and it's always big nights. Wednesday night there, they have a beer deal, and the open mic would be in the back. But it would flow, and you told me I was the only person you had to turn the sound system down on, so that we didn't have to fight that. I thought, like, oh man, that means I'm just a yeller. I'm just a complete yeller. And why is Mr. Burke is telling me what I'm doing wrong?
I'm trying to find an angle where you can't see how messy it is behind me, but screw it. It's the radio.
It's the radio, yeah. They'll use some audio and video of this, so I'm giving you a heads up on it. So tell me about shooting this. You did this at the Den Theater, am I correct?
Yes, Den Theater. It was taped last year, almost exactly a year ago. And yeah, we were in one of the smaller theaters in Den Theater, and we did it with Comedy Dynamics. But Comedy Dynamics is releasing it, and a production company called Super Nice Guys put it together. So yeah, we recorded it. It was like 2 weeks after the election, I think.
Oh wow, what a time to
Yeah.
get in there.
Yeah. No, it was
You,
good. It was good. We had a fun time recording it.
you're a very wise person. I don't think anyone that I know talks about you in comedy doesn't reference your intelligence and how
Um,
you have a lot of knowledge in the things you do, and you lay it out in comedy, but it doesn't like come off like I'm like it's I'm learning something, but I'm also like he's so biting and sharp at the same time. There's a
well, that's
balance.
very nice of you. Thanks, Kev.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
How
appreciate
do you
that.
hit that balance? Because you talk about like historical things and socioeconomic things I couldn't even fathom like trying to write a joke about. You write brilliant, like really good ones, and then can sneak in a good dirty line here and there.
The way I think about it is, if indeed I do that, sometimes I'll talk to other comedians and they'll be like, you know, they'll ask, they'll say, "Do you think people will get this reference? Or if I say this, do you think people will know what this is?"
We'll just go over
And
their head. Yeah.
yeah, we'll go over people's head. And my take was always, you sort of want them to not know. Because if they don't know, then you have an opportunity to explain it, and in explaining it, you get an opportunity to write more jokes.
All right.
You know what I mean? So it's sort of like, like I have a bit where I sort of, I grew up in the north of Ireland, um, and I talk about what it was like growing up there, and like just as you get older, the audiences get younger, and a lot of them don't really know, about Ireland in the 70s and 80s. So that's an opportunity to, like, if you can explain it in a funny way, that's you get that's better for a comedian than if everybody just knows. You know,
100%.
that's the way I look at it.
Tell me about the experience you have with, like, obviously some people like, oh, I noticed your accent. I've talked to you about this before though in person,
Yeah,
but I just want to get this on. I've had this with you where people say, oh, well, you definitely are from maybe England or something like that. Or they say,
yeah,
do you get that? Do you get a lot of people talking to you about your accent and stuff like that a lot or no?
yeah. I have a friend, CJ Sullivan, to this day insists that I'm Scottish. Yeah, people, sometimes it's adorable because a couple will come up to you and it's
Mhm.
almost a fun game that they've been playing during the show.
Mhm.
And they'll be like, "I told you, I thought he was Irish. I thought it," and I'll tell them, and that's just a good way uh, for them to let me know that they haven't been listening to any of the jokes. They've just been trying to decide where I'm from. But yeah, it happens from time to time. That's one of the first notes I got too, because when I first started doing this 20 years ago, my accent was a bit thicker,
Mhm.
and I had gotten one of my first gigs was featuring um at Zany's, one of the Zany's suburban ones, and I was bombing so terribly, and the headliner, Tim Waltz, was like, "You should just address your accent up top. Just 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 mention it, because he goes, if you don't mention it, they're gonna spend the rest of the show trying to figure out where you're from." So again, that's a great example of where, like, I've written, like, you know a dozen jokes about it, and it's just a way, if rather than just say I have an accent, or that sounds like this or it sounds like that, and you make a joke about it. So yeah, it comes up, and again, sometimes people are disappointed I'm not more exotic.
They're disappointed
I
by
never
where
got South African.
which sounds wrong. It sounds much worse to say they're disappointed about where I'm from. Like
Yeah,
there's some
yeah,
other issues
yeah,
there. But it's
yeah,
more, no,
yeah,
I told him that he was this and that. Okay.
yeah, yeah. But sometimes they'll, especially if you're Irish, the Irish are everywhere. You'll get a lot of,
Yeah.
you know, my grandparents is from so and so. But it's great. Yeah, I like it.
Give me 1 second here. I'm gonna pop over and literally do a break on the radio. And
Okay.
they won't notice it, and I'll edit this out just so I'm ahead here. This is me getting
I'm
here
gonna
today. Hang on, here we go. Green Day from Oakland, California. Did you know that? They're from Oakland, not San Francisco. They will correct you. It's like when you meet someone and they say they're from Chicago, but they're from somewhere north of that. Don't do that. Don't be from Kenosha and then say you're from Chicago. We know better. Anyway, Lincoln Park. There we go. That gives me 10, 15 minutes to work with. All right. So the album, Un-American, you are in the political humor sphere. People can hear you on Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Yeah.
You have the authority to talk about these topics. I never feel like I can do politics in my jokes at all. But you're someone I can have a conversation with and be like, dude, he's so I wish he would run for Senate. Or something like that.
So I don't know a lot about politics. I'm not like really a political guy. And it's funny you should say that. I know that sometimes it comes across people like, oh, he's a political guy. And I'm nowhere near as wonky as a lot of people are. I like talking about politics though, because I think politics is just human behavior writ large.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it's what I find funny about politics is that sometimes they act like they're not us. You know what I mean? They act like they're doing something different than just having a petty work squabble. But it's like, no, you're like the rest of us, but you're just having it on the largest platform. That's why, people like, Mike Johnson, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson is funny because he's such a Steve Carell character.
Yeah, he looks like a character.
And he doesn't know it, and he acts like, and there's so, and Chuck Schumer is a great example too. Chuck Schumer is hilarious, where Chuck Schumer thinks that he is coming across very senatorial and very, and it's like, no, you look like a very old substitute teacher. You look like you have no idea what's going on. And I think that's what I find about politics, not because it's not even the politicky sort of halls of power part of it. I love the idea that it's like, no, you're just another schmuck who's you're like all of us. You ended up in a position.
Yeah.
You're in everyone. Like, if politicians weren't all in over their head, everything would be fine.
Yes.
And nothing is ever fine because someone's got to do it, right?
Yeah.
And they don't, like, they have and that's too, like, they've read Robert's Rules of Order or whatever it is. Like, it's so funny to me when you watch like Senate hearing committees or like a committee on something, and they're literally talking about like cleaning the water. They're talking about feeding people, and when you watch it, it's 17 minutes of going, well, no, you don't get to speak yet. He gets to go there. And it's like, aren't we all dying? Couldn't we like speed this up? It's so great. I love the people who show up to like local government hearings and just point out that everybody's a fraud. And like, I love when they show up to like you'll see like clips of local government hearings and someone will show up and they'll be like, yeah, you say you're supposed to be balancing the budget, but your cousin Jerry still owes me $800 from that fishing trip we took. You know what I mean? I love it when they like know each other, and that's how government should be. Like the notion that we're putting these people on a pedestal, and it's like, how dare you speak to the senator like that? I have a new joke that I'm doing that is, I talk about the White House renovations.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't like how Trump is decorating the White House, and they say it's ugly. And I'm like, no, the White House should be ugly.
Oh, why is that?
Our house. Because it's our house. It belongs to us. And have you seen our houses? Look at my house. Our houses are ugly as shit. I said there should be a live, laugh, love sign on the South Lawn. Like, it should nothing be, when visiting dignitaries come into the rotunda at the White House, they should be greeted by a big mouth Billy Bass that sings "Take Me to the River." Like that,
it turns to them. It does that thing where it turns the wall.
Yeah.
It sings the national anthem as you walk.
Yeah. People are like, truly, this is the best country in the world. But yeah, that's how it should be. And it's like, Um, he's, it was so funny when Zelensky came and someone criticized him for not wearing a suit. And it's like, no, no, he's right. He's the only one of you in this room that looks like he works for a living. You know what I mean? He's got his like sweater on. He's got like combo. He's got those like military pants on with all the pockets, and it's like, yes, he's got nothing but Twizzlers in there, but that's fine. But he looks, for you guys in your suits, you all look like you're not working. You know what I mean? And it's like, and that's the thing too. We're like, obviously the government shutdown is terrible for people who don't get paid. That is awful. It's awful that people, had to uh it's awful that you had people who like work for the government in very important jobs were on like bread lines trying to like trying to get food for their kids. But did you notice a change in the demeanor or the comfort level of anyone who shut down the government? Did any of those people look like they were inconvenienced for 1 second? You've been out of work for 2 months. None of you look worried. Can you imagine if you took 2 months off from the radio, would you expect to be able to just rock back in? Like, how's it going, guys?
No, no,
Kev,
not at all.
where the heck were you, Kev?
Yeah. Tell me about it. Oh, yeah. So, Un-American. You have a bit. I saw a clip of this. If some people are like, "Oh, they only have the attention span for clips," I don't work. We live in that space. Yeah, I have to listen to. Wait, how long is the video? I have that. So, and if you're with us on the podcast and you've been with us this long, wonderful. Look at you testing the limits of your attention span. I understand it.
Sean Flannery used to have I was just real quick. Sean Flannery used to have a great bit about that where he said people will show you a YouTube video and they will go, "Don't worry, it gets good around the 40-second mark."
Shout out Sean Flannery, Blackout Diaries. Check out their show. Yeah. Very, very funny. Friday nights at Lincoln Lodge. But you talk about the root name of America, and then it's based on this Italian person who last name is America.
Amerigo Vespucci. I used to this was part of the joke that didn't make it in, like, because I'm fascinated by it all. But Amerigo Vespucci. It was I can't remember. It was I think it was a Spanish cartographer. They'd found this big landmass. It's like, I got to call it something. So he had read these letters by this guy called Vespucci. We don't know for certain. This is what's great about history. We do not know for certain whether Amerigo Vespucci, the person who the country is named after, that the two continents are named after, we do not know for certain if he ever set foot on this continent. It's all based off of two letters. I say that weirdly, America is Amerigo Vespucci's Canadian girlfriend. But we don't know because it's 400 years ago. So it's just like I would love the notion that I love to think of him getting that news. By the way, Amerigo, do you know that
there's this?
I'm not responsible for it in any way, right? No. We just think your name sounds cool. Yeah. Isn't that nuts though? That is so. It is. That's again what I talk about. Where like Obama had a great line once where he said, they asked him about the show Veep.
Great show.
But they asked Obama once, and they were like, "How realistic is?" And they asked him, "What do they get right?" And he goes, "You would be surprised on the level of thought that some of these decisions are made." Like that's what he was saying. Or like sometimes really, really big decisions about the country get made, and it's like, it's also like, what? Sorry to keep talking about politics, but it's also like, I don't know if you noticed when they pushed through, I think it was the budget bill, but in the last minute, some senator had added a thing where like if a senator gets sued for something, they get paid $500,000 a day or something. Like it was so crazy, but it's just like they will put these amendments into bills and we never get to find out who put that amendment in.
which is
Like this,
ridiculous.
it's so great because it just goes because it's a 1,000-page document. Everyone tries to read it, and then by the time and then
It gets good by the
senators
40th
won't.
page, right? It gets
What's
good by
that?
the 40th. It gets
That is so funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Senate bills should be TikTok videos. Yeah, if you can't do it in a TikTok video, we don't want to hear about
Oh, we've fried our brains with too many choices.
it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Chuck Schumer should be sitting there on a TikTok going, "What do we think about the budget? Uh,
If you
what,
can't
what
explain
do
in
we
15
think about?
seconds, I don't care. I have 85 other videos to watch today.
Let me
Yeah.
know your thoughts, chat." You know? Yeah, I know it's mental, but the title "Un-American" came from the thing. There's two American things that I don't do. Well, I don't cover one of them in special. The two most American things I don't do is I don't drive and I don't drink coffee.
Well, I don't drive as well. You and I have covered this because we've done
Oh,
shows together.
yeah,
I think we did
yeah,
one show together where we had to ride in a car with people. I can't remember
yeah.
who it was. I was trying to figure this out before we got in here. I was like, what shows have I done with Adam that I could talk about? But I recall that we went somewhere in a car, but I can't remember where the show was. I just remember us in a car and someone was driving us. So it is that you bring that up. But coffee, I also don't drink coffee. Why don't you drink?
Wow. I don't drink it because it's a migraine trigger for me. I used to
Okay.
try to drink it, but I'm sort of glad retroactively. I'm glad I don't drink it because I think coffee culture is like car culture. It's just these things that we've accepted that everybody has to do, and it's so funny when I tell people I don't drink coffee, they get very surprised, and it's almost like they're almost like I, they're like, how do you function in this world? I think coffee is so universal here, isn't it? Don't you
Yeah.
ever get that when people are like,
Yes, totally. It's very universal, and it's very much like I would say when you bring it up to me that it's an American thing, I was like, well, it's everywhere, but it does feel like it is really much a part of American like everyday life.
yeah,
I had the job at Starbucks for like a hot minute. I wasn't good at making the coffee, but I never got into it. I never really cared that much. I'm a pop guy, I'm fine with that. I know
yeah,
that's gross, but that's my vice, right? But for some people, like it is their vice. Like coffee is a
oh
vice.
yeah,
I have to have it. Like what's the cup phrase? Like don't talk to me until I have my coffee. Like
yeah, yeah.
I remember the great Rena Calm. The great Rena Calm she would sell a coffee cup that would say, "Don't talk to me until I've had my orgasm," which I thought was a great bit. Shout out Rena.
Then it's also I always wonder if the English ever because I like my women like I like my coffee.
Yes,
That's
yes.
become
We all know the formatics. We're going into roast battle real quick here.
But yeah, but like, is there a British version of that? Is like I like my women like I like my tea, milky and stolen from India. Like, is there like a? It's because I feel like it doesn't work as well.
It doesn't work.
Tea doesn't work. Tea doesn't work as well.
Yeah. Yes, the English. Someone's got to get subjugated. It's the way we go.
How did you know that is in that's what that means, the Latin phrase on the seal of England. That's what that means. Someone's got to get subjugated. Ain't gonna be us.
If you look really closely, there's just a guy like in the corner. Like,
yeah, that's what the unicorn is doing on the United Kingdom.
It's one of the lines. It's one of the lines.
Yeah.
There we go. The album is Un-American. The comedy special, Un-American. It is available. And where can they get it? One more time.
You can get it. So the film special, the visual spectacle, is available on Apple and Amazon on November the 25th, and then there is an audio version which will be available on the 28th.
And you have two other audio albums out, right?
I do. Yes. You can buy them or you can listen to them on Spotify. The first one is called. This is the simplest. Un-American is the simplest title I've ever come up with for something. But the first album is called Universal Squirrel Theory. And the second album is called Weaponized Empathy.
I was listening to Weaponized Empathy today on YouTube Music, and I had a very, very good time with it. And
oh, cool! Thank you. Yeah,
I'm working on an album. I remember talking to you about it before. I have it taped.
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, so you put one out this way, you put one out that way. He's like, yeah, I enjoyed the audio thing. And
what's yours called?
Mine is called Kevin in Hell. instead of
That's great.
heaven and hell. So I had to be very corny and on the top. And we had a really good time filming it. I think it'll come out in the winter. We don't have a designated date, but I'm gonna figure that all out probably within the next week or so. But it'll be out.
Awesome.
It'll be out, and it's great. It's great that people I know like you are getting the recognition, especially to get Comedy Dynamics is really awesome thing. That's a really great stamp of approval.
It's been really great to work with. Yeah. Yeah, they've got a great team over there, and it kind of like it does help. I mean, just having even someone else in your corner just to like clip out videos or do stuff is so great. And to have pals invite you onto their radio show is very nice.
Thank you so much, Adam. If they want to follow you and this is the first time they're seeing you and they've been listening and paying attention for more than 40 seconds, where can they go?
Please follow me on either Instagram or TikTok, ATP Burke. I post clips pretty much all throughout the week. If you're in the Chicagoland area, I will be headlining at the Comedy Plex, beautiful club in Oak Park, Illinois. I'll be there on December the 5th and 6th. We'd love to sell that out. So if you know anyone who is a fan of wordy comedy, wordy precious comedy, no, send them along. It's a great club anyway, but I'll be there on December 5th and 6th at Comedy Plex in Oak Park. So please send them along there.
Right off the green line. Right off the green line, right there.
Right off the green line.
Perfect.
Great.
I don't have to drive.
Chipotle.
Underneath the Chipotle. Don't have to drive. You can walk
Underneath the
Chipotle right off the green line. There you go.
What more do you need, guys?
Adam, thank you very much. I hope over the years I've regulated my volume in your presence, and I've done well by you. Thank you so much. I've known you a long time. You were part of the JBTV project years ago, so seeing you blossom
that's a great
another level like this is just fantastic, man. Take care, buddy.
Cheers, mate. All the best. Take care. Thanks, man.